Hey everybody, it's Moderski. Again, we're back with Dave. It's credit's an important thing, so we wanted to break this up into two parts and get some of these other questions answered. So we're going to follow up with some of these follow-up questions that I've had from you guys. Hey, how often, if I have my credit pulled 3 other times this week, is that going to affect my score? I was told from my aunt or my uncle or my uncle who's the plumber that my credit score is going to go down if I pull it, 10 times. Is there a magic number to how many times your credit can be pulled?
It's not that there's a magic number for how many times your credit can be pulled. It's that we have to break out the reasons why your credit is being pulled, and some of them might have an impact, some of them might not have an impact. If you're trying to spend somebody else's money, we're going to consider that what's called a hard inquiry, and it may have an impact. It's not that everyone will. The ones that you're not trying to spend somebody else's money, where you're checking up on yourself just to make sure there's nothing wrong in your credit report, or a company that you do business with is pulling it for accounts receivable, you're not trying to do anything there, so you won't even see those on the reports that you see. They have no impact. They're called soft inquiries. But when you're trying to spend somebody else's money, we break them out in 2 different ways. We have ones that are rate shopping, like mortgages, autos, student loans, and then we have non-rate shopping, which we just generally lump in and call it consumer credit. For rate shopping, it's not that every time someone pulls your credit report that you're getting a new house or a new car. Multiple people have to pull your credit report to make sure that the loan program they have is the right one for you. So what we're concerned with as score developers is we look at it and say, when did your behavior really change? What's indicative of you possibly going late in the future? So what we're really concerned with is just the first time your credit report is pulled for that reason. Every other time after that, as long as it's within a block of time, which varies by bureau, but as long as you keep shopping, we're going to say, hey, you know what, you're only buying one house. So the only one we're ever going to look at is just the first one that started that chain. It's when you start and then freak out and stop, let some time pass, and then restart in the future. Now it looks like you're doing it twice. You're buying 2 homes. So you can actually do people a favor and extend the amount of time they have to shop just by pulling their credit, because you're resetting that time frame in that shopping period.
So let's get into the next one is, what's good credit?
Okay. Well, we know it's pay your bills on time, but 65% of your ability to qualify for the best loans has nothing to do with how you pay your bills. The rest of it is what types of accounts you have, how you've used what you're allowed to use, how long you've had it, and how much new credit you're looking for. So the best well-rounded people we know have at least one type of revolving account, which is a credit card or some kind of store card, and at least one installment account, which is an auto loan, a mortgage, a student loan.
Something fixed.
Right, one of those two. We call it an eating healthy analogy, where your parents said if you want to be healthy, you have to have your grains, your proteins, and your vegetables. Well, the same is true of credit. You have to have at least one installment and then one revolving. The thing is, you don't want to load up on either one and lack the other. And you also don't want to take out too much from the credit buffet too fast, because what happens if you just continually take out everything you possibly can when you're eating? Right. Heart disease, obesity, diabetes. So what it means is the healthiest credit is having at least one of those, or at least one of each of those types. And then as you need to get credit, if you need a new car, don't be afraid of it. You can take on little by little, and it shows responsible behavior across time.
So when someone sees you look at your credit report and you may have a $3,000 credit card that's your limit, and you have $2,800 on that credit card. Sometimes I see that as being, do credit bureaus look at that in a negative way to where you're kind of maxed out on your limit?
We do, and what's happening is people will often say, well, I can run up my credit card to the max every month and then pay it off in full. But we can't see what you pay. We can only see what you've used. It's subtle but a powerful difference. So if every month you're running up to the max and paying it off in full, what the creditor's sending to the credit bureaus is that you've run it up to the max. So every month you're being reported as maxed. And when you're compared with other people, you're being compared to people who are living at or above their means already. So the likelihood you might go late on any new loan is increased.
Okay.
So the way to defeat that, or to behave better, is to pay it off early, or just don't charge up as much.
Okay. So listen, guys, if you have any questions regarding credit, give me a shout. I can always forward the message to Dave. He's not going to want to take on all the calls or the emails. But if you have any questions about your credit report, or if you want to, look and see what your credit score is, we'll be more than happy to turn around and pull that credit for you, the credit score, the credit report for you, find out what your scores are, and help get you on what Dave calls a healthy path, and get you having good credit, and tell you the direction that you need to go to build a good credit history. So hopefully this information is good for you and it's useful. And if you have any questions, please feel free to contact me, email, call, whatever it may be, and look for my next video. Thank you guys for watching. Dave,
Take care.
thank you. Thanks a lot, man.
Thank you.
Great job. Thanks, guys.